Hey, Dragons, Dragon King 551, and we are back at it with college football takes. Now, again, I will be uploading ones from TikTok onto YouTube as soon as possible, but I just want to give my takes on certain ones. And this one, obviously, I have notes written from here that I'm going to be reading down off of. And this one is all about the dominancy of college football and basketball. Now, I will be making another video talking about the 12-team expansion and explaining who I believe what conference or division will be the most dominant, but that's not what this video is truly about. Let's just talk about being dominant. Now, in the last 8 years is how long the college football playoff format has been created. So that's from 2014 all the way up to 2022 as of right now. That's an 8-year time span. But if we look prior to that, in the common 21st century and in the 90s and 80s, the most dominant conference was the Big Ten. You can look it up yourself. There are a lot of Nebraska, Ohio State, Michigan, a lot of teams won championships and stuff. But that's not what this is about. This is talking about two different aspects of dominancy in college sports. There's two aspects. First aspect is, let's talk about the first aspect in professional sports. The first aspect in professional sports is always make it to the playoffs, make it to the playoffs. The second aspect is being dominant by winning Super Bowls, making championships, making it to your conference championship, winning that, making it to Super Bowls, making Super Bowl appearances, and winning a couple here and there. Like the Giants, when they had a winning franchise for a long time, or the Chiefs, what they're doing right now. They're the new dynasty or something, like the Patriots, where they kept making it. But the point is that there are two aspects. So let's talk about them. So let's talk about being dominant and the differences of dominancy. There are two stages. One, actually winning a national championship, which are the Coach K's of basketball or the Nick Sabans of football. You know, you got those two guys. Look at Nick Saban. Prior to coming to Bama, Bama was not a good team. The first one that they ever won was 2009 with a BCS format. It was before the college football playoff format. Now that they have come, it seems like the SEC or them representing it has actually become more dominant. So, that is the first aspect, winning a national championship. Now, the second way is actually continuously making those playoffs over and over again. Now, obviously, it's a lot easier to make it for March Madness because there's 64 or actually 68 teams with that play-in tournament. You get 4 extra teams before they cut it down to the 64 format. So once we get the 12-team format, it's going to be a little bit easier to see more teams continuously making it to probably those playoffs if they can continue to be competitive. And maybe then that game between Michigan and Ohio State is not so bad anymore because back then it was the deciding factor to get into, the Rose Bowl. We don't have the Rose Bowl anymore as a college football playoff. It's the Peach Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Cotton Bowl or whatever. I don't know. I'll talk about that in another video about bowl games that need to be changed. But it was always that deciding factor. Get into a Rose Bowl, get to the Big Ten championship, play against that team, and then actually get into the college football playoff. That was the deciding factor, that one game. Now it's not so bad anymore. So it's actually continuously making those playoffs over and over again. Or in the case of March Madness, we call it going to the big dance over and over again. When the 12-team college football playoff comes out, I believe we will see those conferences be more dominant. We'll see which which conference is the most dominant and stuff. As of right now, it seems it's the SEC because, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee and stuff. But back then, it was the Big Ten. However, right now, for basketball, for the last couple of years, the Big Ten has reigned supreme with having the most teams in the big dance. Now, hear me out. Listen to my words very carefully. I said reigning supreme of getting into the big dance. I never said whatsoever of them winning a national championship. I'm just saying being dominant, getting into the playoffs day in and day out. You see those teams. There were 9 teams last year, and prior to that year, I believe there were 9 teams in 2021. There were 2022. There was, I think, like 7 or 9 teams again. The 2 years prior to that, before the pandemic and stuff, we had a lot of Big Ten teams. So the Big Ten has reigned supreme, having it the most in the big dance. Yes, I know what you're going to say, but they haven't done anything. Okay, yes. Most go home packing in the first or second round and don't go to the Sweet 16. Obviously, the Sweet 16 is where they struggle, except maybe the team that gets there is the boys to the left here, this amazing blue wall behind me, the University of Michigan, who goes the farthest to represent the Big Ten and stuff. And it's a fact. In the last couple of years, we've seen in 2018, Michigan gets to a national championship. They go through everyone. 2013, they win they get there. They lose to Villanova. In 2018, they lose to Louisville. 2019, that's the pandemic year. They didn't get a play. Oh, no, I'm sorry. 2017, 2018, and then 2018 going into 2019. In the 2019, they did get a play, but I think they got knocked out in the Sweet 16 against Texas Tech. And then in the year going 2019 to 2020, it was over. They didn't get a play. Come in from 2020 to 2021 into that March Madness where there's no fans whatsoever. Michigan proves that they're a very dominant team. They go very far. They get to the Final Four. They lose to UCLA, but they are a very dominant team. They still represent the Big Ten as being very dominant. SEC, I know a lot of people were saying, I think last year, I want to say it was last year or the year prior, Alabama went really far or something. But it was a really good game for Alabama. I mean, they went really far. But as I've said before, the Big Ten has been probably the most dominant of most teams making it into the college football. I'm sorry, not into the college football, into the Big Dance March Madness and stuff. As of right now, we don't know where the college football playoff lies. And what I mean by that is we don't know where it lies for the future for this 12-team expansion. As of right now, we know that the 2 teams that are in right now are Tennessee and Georgia, which are 2 SEC teams. I don't see why not. We could get 2 Big Ten teams in the future, maybe more and stuff. But that's for a video for another time, talking about the 12-team expansion and everything else. But until that time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one. And these are my thoughts on the dominancy. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and stuff. What do you think? Do you believe that there's 2 different types of dominancy? There's one where it's constantly winning national championships or constantly winning championships just in general. And then the other one is constantly just making it to the playoffs over and over again and proving that you can be a winning team, but you're not there to be a championship team. Just look at the Yankees. I believe it's like from 2015 to 2022. Oh, no. From 2017 to 2022, that 5-year time span, they've made it consecutively to the playoffs, but they've been getting knocked out every single year, which proves that they're very dominant making there. They just cannot get over the hump to win a World Series. And yes, in the earlier days of the 1920s to the later days into the 40s and 50s and 60s, and their last common game-winning championship was 2009, the Yankees were the most dominant and proving that they could continuously win championships. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. So until next time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one.